Yo! Happy Halloween, everyone. Derek here, bringing you the finale of the 31 Days of Horror. Today is the big day, and I'm celebrating a little bit, as you can see. Got some pumpkin ale from Post Road, which is part of the Brooklyn Brewery, and it's pretty tasty. Cheers. Yeah, so I just finished watching this one. This was the film that, if you guys watched my last video, I told you it was going to be a French film and it's going to be a first time watch for me. And it's been really, I got a lot to say about this one. So this film came out in 2011. It's actually from directors Julien Marais and Alexandra Bastello. If you don't know who they are, their most famous film to date that I've seen is probably Inside, one of the Fab Five home invasion French films. And yeah, I love that film to death, and I always wanted to check this one out because it's actually their follow-up to Inside. And I got a lot to talk about it. And it does take place on Halloween, which is a plus for this series, and a big finale in that sense. And it goes by the title of Livid. The main characters in the story of this film, we meet our main character of Lucy. She is starting out at a new job as like one of those nurses that goes to like people's houses to take care of them. And she's being trained by this other lady named Miss Wilson. And they go do their rounds at a few houses that Lucy's going to end up doing in the future by herself. And then they end up going to this old like mansion type. It's really out there in the world. It's not really part of like any main city. It's kind of like out in its own, like kind of near the ocean type deal. And then they meet the main old lady that lives in this house. They meet Lucy Caesar, and she's in this breathing apparatus. She's in a coma, so it seems. And Miss Wilson kind of gives out this hint that this lady was rich and she might have like a treasure hidden in the house somewhere. And she has no family because then she tells the story of the daughter that passed away and stuff. And then later on, after Lucy gets off work and the training and stuff, she ends up meeting up with her boyfriend Ben and his friend Willie at a restaurant that Willie works at. And she mentions this to them, and they think it's a good idea since the old lady's in a coma, so she can't really call the cops or anything, to break in the house and try to find this treasure during the nighttime. So what happens is they end up doing that, and while they're exploring the house trying to search for the treasure or goods and stuff, they end up coming across this strange room where it has a body standing, and it's kind of weird because it's kind of like a life-size ballerina, like those musical boxes. And it's very strange and peculiar. And then after they find that and set it off, a lot of strange things start happening in the house, and they're trying to get out, but the house seems to be locked, and they're trying to get out, and weird stuff starts happening to them. And they're just trying to survive. That's pretty much the main plot of this film. Now, going into this, I knew one thing I'm going to tell you. It's not really a spoil, because it was one thing that I read about this film. It's like a take on vampirism, this film, which isn't really spoiling much, but it's really interesting take on vampirism, I have to say. Now, to get into the setting of Halloween, even though you don't feel like this might be set on Halloween, it does have that Halloween atmosphere. And here's one thing that I'm gonna say that it's not really a spoiler, but there's a few references of like other horror films that I really enjoy that were in this film. Like the restaurant they go to that Willie works At, it's actually, the sign on the restaurant's window is actually the slaughtered lambs, like emblem, you know, with the wolf with the blood. And it's really like, pays homage to the American Werewolf in London. Then there's an even more awesomer scene that comes after that where it actually has a Halloween 3 reference. They run to a group of like trick-or-treaters and they're all dressed like the 3 masks. They're wearing the 3 masks from Halloween 3, which I really enjoyed that because I wasn't expecting that in this film. And it really shows that these two directors are fans of horror films. And I really like that touch that they put in the love in it. And now getting into like the main, like how I feel about this film. After watching Inside, fans of Inside might get a little, because this is a totally different film than Inside. It's not really supposed to be the same movie. It has a slow build up to it, especially in the beginning, because it's a totally different story and stuff. But it's still awesome in my opinion because it has like this awesome atmosphere and great like nighttime shots and slow build up, but it really does like work, especially for this film with this airy score and this haunted like house type supernatural stuff going on in this house, and the setting and the cinematography is beautiful. It's beautifully shot, this film, just like Inside was. And if you like slow build up films, the ending really pays off for this film. It really does have a wicked, like, awesome ending in my opinion, especially if you're a fan of like blood and gore and stuff. There's a few like blood scenes, there's a few, lots of blood and stuff at the end, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, the ending, you can take it as two ways, because this film's a little more artsy than Inside is, especially with the ending. But I highly enjoyed it because I love like stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of like an early Argento film, like Suspiria and Inferno in a sense, with the same like tension and chemistry, but just done like a different way. And I like the homages, like I said. So yeah, this is a blast to watch on Halloween because with all the, like, the Halloween references in it and the tension, the setting, and this dark house, and it's really like beautifully shot and music. So if I had to rate Livid for a first time watch, especially on Halloween, I'm giving it a solid 9.5 out of 10. This film is wicked awesome. This Blu-ray I got on Amazon UK. It's actually region free, so if you find this Blu-ray, get that one if you don't have a region free player, so you could actually watch this film. Because unfortunately it doesn't have a region 1 release, which is a shame, because I love this film just as much as I love Inside, and it should be seen by like fans of these directors. And I know their third film's in limbo too. There's actually no release with subtitles on it, so that sucks. So yeah, I highly recommend everyone get this film. I really enjoyed it. If you like films with like different takes on vampires, and just like, if you're a fan of like Suspiria, I know some people might not be a fan of it, but I highly enjoyed it, and it's a really well-made film, Livid. I really enjoyed this. If you're a fan of like anything French or anything, I'd highly recommend it. But I'm just blabbering because I'm a little buzzed right now, I won't lie. So yeah, check out Livid. Well guys, the end of the day has come. I'm glad you stuck with me this long. So maybe I'll do it again next year, I don't know yet. But stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to be returning with It Came from the 80s. That's the big shocking time. So I'll see you then. Peace out.